For all the chaos and disorder that happens in the Mushroom Kingdom on a regular basis, full-scale Ocean's 11 style heists are surprisingly rare in it. Most stealing, or rather kidnapping, happens as a result of brute force attacks rather than complex stealth operations. But what if the opposite were true? What if these characters had to sneak their way into a stronghold to steal something and get away safely? And more importantly, which of these characters would make for the best crew to pull it off? I'm Keefinosi with One Up Binge, and this is which Mario characters would make the best heist crew. As usual, we have a lot of roles to fill with a lot of specialized jobs on the line, so we'll be weighing each character's pros and cons to find the best crew for the job. The first crew member we'll need is the brains. Without a good plan and a solid leader, any heist is doomed to fail, so we need someone with a lot of charisma and brain power to take this role. For this one, we've narrowed our choices down to these three: Pauline, Toadsworth, and Kamek. In retrospect, it's a little odd that we don't have a princess in this spot, but we do have the next best thing: a sassy multi-term mayor who moonlights as a lounge singer. So, having served as the mayor of New Donk City for so long, Pauline has a lot of experience with both organizing large operations and managing multiple people in order to accomplish said operations. And she's apparently very good at it too. She's done such a good job as mayor and become so popular for it that she hasn't had anyone run against her in years. That said, there's only so much a mayor can do in terms of coming up with plans. Most of that comes down to the city council, of which Pauline only has a comparatively small hand in. Though with her charisma, it's not out of the realm of possibility that she could get the council on her side if she really wanted to. So it's possible that she could run the entire city if she wanted to. Toadsworth, on the other hand, may not have the same level of influence, but he does have plenty of experience organizing large events. From tennis tournaments to Mario parties, he's managed to keep the relative chaos of everyone else in check and keep things running as smoothly as they can in the Mushroom Kingdom. And while he is getting on in years, he's still sprightly for his age, even to the point of joining in the festivities from time to time. However, his main selling point is in his ability to keep the Mushroom Kingdom from devolving into anarchy whenever Princess Peach gets herself kidnapped, which happens a lot. It's Toadsworth as the royal advisor who keeps the kingdom running in her absence and making sure that the Mario Brothers have everything they need to rescue her. And speaking of elder advisors keeping things running, Kamek is basically the evil counterpart to Toadsworth. He helped in raising Bowser and serves as his most trusted aide and confidant, often assisting him in his evil schemes. On top of that, as a Magic Koopa, Kamek has a deep understanding of magic and knows how to utilize it to further his nefarious plans. Whether it's identifying magic items to steal or enhancing his allies to help them steal them, Kamek has all the arcane know-how needed to assist him in his schemes, of which he has more than enough to earn him a spot on our team. So with the brains of the operation accounted for, we now need someone to be the safecracker. Someone with steady hands, a level head, and the ability to get into anything they want. Our choices for this one are pretty slim, but we've at least got a choice between Diddy Kong and King Boo. First, let's talk about Diddy Kong. Out of all the Mario characters, Diddy is the most nimble and dexterous. The acrobatics that he uses on a regular basis require immense precision and a steady hand. Two things which can easily make or break a safecracker. Whether or not this translates into actual safecracking skills is a bit of a stretch. We're talking about a monkey here, after all. Still though, given how scarce the competition for this role is, we feel confident in saying that Diddy would likely make the best safecracker in the traditional sense. But then we look at King Boo, and it's not even close. As we've discussed in other heist crew videos, being a ghost basically breaks this role entirely, as they don't even need to crack a safe to get what's inside, being able to phase through solid objects and all, you know. Even ignoring that entirely though, King Boo in particular has a lot of experience in breaking into and out of prisons that even other ghosts are unable to escape. Put simply, if there was ever something King Boo wanted, there isn't a safe in the world that could keep it from him, physical or otherwise, so we have to give this spot to him. The next role we need to fill is the hacker. While technology isn't quite as common, or at least prevalent, in the Mushroom Kingdom, that's all the more reason to have a specialist around in order to hack into any computer systems that this team does come across. As you may have guessed from that last statement, we don't have a lot to work with, but we've come up with two potential candidates, Princess Peach and Professor Egad. The professor should be rather self-explanatory, so instead let's focus on Peach here. While you may assume that Peach isn't the most technologically literate person out there, well, you'd be right, but she's not nearly as bad as you might think. Canonically, all the residents of the Mushroom Kingdom are avid video game enthusiasts, and Peach is no exception. Even ignoring that, she has a lot of interest in new technology, as evidenced when she was willing to hop into Egad's time machine without hesitation. However, the main reason why we have to consider her for this role is that she could potentially befriend and seduce any computer system in order to have it give her what she wants. Now, that may sound insane and illogical, and granted it is, but the fact that she's already done it once before with Tech XX means that the possibility still exists. perhaps this potential shortcut might be enough to make the princess a better hacker than the professor? Of course not. Professor Egad is simply way too talented of a scientist. He has invented and produced countless devices and systems which defy conventional logic, break the laws of physics, and threaten the very fabric of reality. Breaking into a complex security system would be as simple as breathing for someone like him. While there is a chance that Peach would be able to break into a computer network, Professor Egad is basically guaranteed to pull it off, so on the team he goes. We'll also need a master of disguise for our squad. Someone who's able to infiltrate any group, work undetected, and create a diversion for the rest of the team when needed. For this one, we've narrowed our choices down to Yoshi, Captain Toad, and Captain Goomba. Most characters on this list would easily stand out in a crowd, but these three have the advantage of numbers on their side. Being mostly nondescript from others of their respective species allows them to blend in with others of their kind, provided there are enough of them around. Thankfully, you can't seem to be able to do so much as spit in a crowd in the Mushroom Kingdom without hitting a Toad or a Goomba, so those two get a pass. As for Yoshi, however, while there are plenty of Yoshis out there, they just aren't as common, and green Yoshis in particular are rare to come by, so we can't give it to him. As for the other two, we're giving the edge to Captain Toad here for one simple reason: hands. While they can both hide in a crowd with the same level of ease, generally speaking, Captain Goomba can't really do much else without arms. Sure, he can bonk a fool or two, but if the team needs him to do anything with any sort of fine motor skills, he's basically useless. Captain Toad, on the other hand, has at least enough manual dexterity to accomplish basic tasks, which would both allow him to blend in easier and also assist his team when the time comes for it. Now, sometimes brute force is necessary to get through the opposition, so we need someone to be the muscle. Now, there's no shortage of strong characters to work with, but we've narrowed it down to just these three: Donkey Kong, Bowser, and Wario. All three of these guys are fairly similar in their methods, motivation, and weight class, and any of them should be able to handle the job as the muscle with about the same level of effectiveness. Therefore, our decision here comes down to simply determining which of them is the strongest. And looking at the three of them, Wario immediately stands out as the weakest. Don't get us wrong, Wario is incredibly strong and a fairly capable thief himself, but he simply can't outmuscle a giant ape nor a fire-breathing dragon turtle thing. So, on that note, while Donkey Kong may be able to match Bowser in terms of raw strength, he doesn't have any special powers that would be able to compete with the latter's fire breath. So, for that reason, we're going to give this spot to Bowser and put the main villain of the series on our big heist crew. Similarly, we also need a skilled gunman on the squad to help them blast their way through when the shiitake hits the fan. Ignoring the Rabbids crossover, firearms are fairly rare in the Mushroom Kingdom, so we'll have to be creative here. Just two entries to choose from, thank God. Those being Luigi and Petey Piranha. While Luigi may not be the most composed in stressful situations, he's the one who has the most experience in using firearms, or at least something which functions close enough to firearms. Having used several incarnations of Egad's Poltergust, he has had a lot of time to practice his marksmanship, sucking up ghosts and spitting them back out. With similar mechanics and dexterity, it makes sense that Luigi would be the one who would be the best at handling an actual gun. However, handling himself in a high-stress environment such as an actual heist is another matter, especially in the situations where we need a gunman, so we just can't give this one to him in good faith. So, what could we do if no one else can handle a gun as well as Luigi? Well, what if they were a gun? That's basically the case with Petey Piranha, who has the ability to fire sludge and other things from his mouth. While this might not be as lethal as actual bullets, in the Mushroom Kingdom, where this kind of chaos is the norm, this might be just as effective anyway. Additionally, Petey isn't nearly as much of a coward as Luigi, being rather chaotic and with little intelligence. As such, he is much more suited for the type of job we need a gunman for, earning Petey Piranha a spot on the team. With that, we move on to our driver, someone who can make a quick and efficient getaway once the heist is done. Realistically, this is the one that can be filled out by literally anyone. If a baby can drive a car through a minefield of banana peels, this should be a low bar to clear. Still, we need to find someone exceptional, so we're going to ignore Mario Kart for this one. With our options limited like this, our only good options here come down to either Rosalina or Bowser Jr. For Rosalina's case, it all comes down to the Comet Observatory, the large planetoid spaceship capable of traveling to the very center of the universe in just a matter of seconds. When you're measuring the speed of your getaway in terms of light years per second, it's not really a matter of if you'll get away, but how soon. The main issue then becomes getting to the observatory, as it isn't exactly something that you can bring to the scene of the crime in order to make a quick getaway. She could bring a team of Lumas with her to transform into launch stars, but that also leaves an exploitable path that others could use to follow the team before they can get the observatory going. On the other hand, Junior stands out due to being somewhat of a gearhead. He spends much of his time flying around in his Junior clown car, putting his behind-the-wheel time well above the rest of the cast. Additionally, he has experience in piloting other machines as well, from small crafts like his personal airship to giant mechs like the Mecha Bowser, Mega Hammer, and Boomsday Machine. With a resume like that, it makes sense that Bowser Jr. would be able to make an easy escape in any vehicle he so chooses. Lastly, we have our final member, the wild card. Someone you never know what they're going to do, one who can fulfill multiple roles at once wherever needed, or can do something so specialized that others just cannot. For this final spot, our choices are Mario, Princess Daisy, and Waluigi. First, let's talk about the main man himself. Ever since he became the face of Nintendo, Mario's been depicted as a jack of all trades. He doesn't necessarily excel in any one particular area, but he's consistently above average at just about everything he does, and considering how many jobs and activities he's done over the years, it makes sense. It would take much more time than we have for this video to go over all of his qualifications, so if you want more information, go check out our video covering Mario's jobs from worst to best for more details. Shameless plug aside, Mario is still a well-rounded pick for this role. Daisy is in a similar boat to Mario. While not as far-reaching as a man in red, she still has a lot of skills which don't quite earn her a spot in any of the other categories. She's a lot feistier and more aggressive than the other girls, but not nearly enough to be considered for the muscle. She's a princess, but doesn't show enough of her smarts nor leadership skills for a spot as the brains. She owns the Daisy Cruiser, but not only would it not be effective enough as an escape vehicle, but it's also too conspicuous to bring to the average crime scene, so we can't give her the driver role either. That said, if something were to happen to one of those three, then Daisy would make a fantastic replacement for them. And then we have Waluigi, an accomplished, confident, well-rounded thief with a wide portfolio of skills. He is quite agile and acrobatic, as his lanky body provides him with some unique benefits in the speed and versatility departments. Additionally, he's also an accomplished thief alongside Wario, and likely has a lot of experience in dealing with large-scale heists because of this. In short, Waluigi is the best, easiest, and most logical choice for our heist crew. So, of course, we're giving the wildcard role to Mario, because there's no justice for Waluigi. Whenever Waluigi is the best choice for something, you ignore him and go for something that's more marketable instead, because that's just how things work in this world. I'm personally sorry, dude. Alright, that's our squad. Let us know what you think their chances of success would be, and tell us which Mario characters you think should be on the team. Remember, if you need a one-up, be sure to hit that notification bell and binge our other videos. Thanks for watching.